Another contemporary issue that has risen nowadays, but the origin of it is clarified in the Quran and the Sunnah, the issue of selling bonds. So what is a bond? A bond is actually a contract where a government or a bank or a financial institution gives you a document in exchange of your money, stating that you have lent them, but they would not say lending them, that you're investing with them an X amount of money, where they're obliged to give you an X amount of interest on that money, either indefinitely, for years to come. They're always obliged to give you 7%, 10% for that loan you have given them, or for a particular period of time. And this is totally prohibited because it's an interest-based riba loan. There is no ambiguity in this. And unfortunately, a lot of governments do this. And this is riba. Crystal clear, no blind man can't see that either. And companies do this, banks do this, because they want to have cash on their hands so that they can either lend it to other people and get a higher percentage of it, give you your riba profit or interest and take a small margin, or because they have projects they want to execute, or they have debts to pay off that have a higher interest rate than the one they're giving to you. Either way, it is totally haram. One would say, so what's the difference between a share in a company and bonds? The difference is huge. The difference is that a share is an actual portion of that company. So you can indefinitely keep it with you, get the dividends, or share the fall of the price of your share due to losses. And sometimes if the company goes bankrupt, you've lost the whole thing. Bonds don't do that. Bonds is a loan. Whether the whole government collapses or the bank loses a lot of money and doesn't make any profit, it's none of your business. You're going to get your haram riba interest on time. And this is a huge difference. The Islamic alternative for bonds would be sukuk, which is something that is recently introduced, where the company comes and says, okay, our capital is X amount of money. We're willing to take investments from you. Let's assume you give us $100 million for the period of 3 years, where we will invest it in this particular project. So your $100 million would constitute 45% of the capital. And in 3 years, we forecast that we will be able to do this and do that, and the revenue would be approximately between this and that. And after these 3 years are over, we will liquidate your sukuk and give you whatever is there with the profit. When you look at it and you trust their due diligence and their feasibility study and the project itself, that's very lucrative. But there is the risk of losing if they don't run the project well, which is an Islamic risk. This is how you invest. There is always a risk, not like in riba, where you're always on the win, regardless of the others. Let them go to hell, it's none of your business. No, it doesn't work this way. So in sukuk, if it's Islamic, governed by a Sharia board, controlling it, supervising it, it is halal alternative, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. هذا والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد.